Our group consists of Malaya, Giselle, Kennedy, and Lam, and we will be doing the Hot Wheels case study.
Hello, my name is Giselle Padilla, and I will be conducting a SWOT analysis for Hot Wheels. So, for the strengths, one of Hot Wheels' strengths stem from its unique value positioning by offering affordable car toys with superior performance. It has been able to generate such a strong brand identity because Hot Wheels has been in the game for such a long time. So it has already has an easy positioning itself. It's due to various factors, one of them being having an effective value-based pricing point by successfully maintaining their $1 car price point, which is originally what they have offered as their model. Another strength of theirs is that they're able to offer a unique set of collectibles, which also brings collectors nostalgia for adults who have reconnected with their childhood. So it has actually built a really strong loyalty base for young children and also young adults who have a love for car culture and have an interest in collectibles. For the weaknesses, lack of product line and diversification proves to be a weakness as Hot Wheels mainly emphasizes on toy collectibles and mainly toys like car toys. Has doesn't really have a broad product line like other brands do. So that is one weakness. Another weakness is its over-reliance on the traditional toy model, which is, I would say, an outdated model. So this could lack some innovation for people or a group who may not be interested to this specific audience. So these audiences more value the use of digital play. For opportunities, one of the opportunities that Hot Wheels could use is to build on their mixed play by blending their physical play with digital play and bringing out toys to life. So they could actually use a mix of technology. So they can implement the use of AR. They can also use or develop digital games through mobile devices. It can also use games or develop games on consoles. So in digital games in-house would actually give Hot Wheels an opportunity to actually maintain a direct relationship to the consumer. So it will generate more game engagement and it would also reconnect the player to Hot Wheels and encourage them to make more purchases. Another opportunity is they can also explore its licensing partnerships. So they can do that by actually implementing an IP to their games, so protecting them as well. Hot Wheels might also implement different pricing strategies, such as like subscriptions, and they can monetize off of it, they can also offer ad placements and their virtual games as well, and sell virtual in-app purchases. They can also have sustainability efforts. This will generate credibility among Hot Wheels, um, well, itself, and also it can also help the customer have a good image towards Hot Wheels as Hot Wheels can also use sustainable practices. So they can do that by um, implementing better safety measures on their materials and packaging that could also help the brand gain credibility. And for the threats, there's various threats that could potentially impact Hot Wheels as a whole as a brand. One of them being strict laws on data and privacy protectors particularly among children that are 18 or less. So this could actually impact its digital play efforts and its practices. Um, Also another one is changing customer trends as the rise of digital consumption is increasing. It can have a digital substitution. Kids are aging out in physical play and turning to digital games. This could also impact the demand in the market and see a tremendous drop in sales. competitors like Matchbox may have more realistic models as well. So that's also another threat. They have better integration on their mixed play compared to Hot Wheels. Another threat would be economic downturns could be a threat. Factors like inflation, recessions could reduce consumer spending and impact purchasing power among consumers, political tension. So any issues such as like tariffs that are imposed could also serve as a threat, as it can increase the cost for materials and disrupt the supply and demand. Pricing, again, would also be another one of their threats because also it would force Hot Wheels to increase the retail price of $1 on its current price point. This could also hurt the consumer as well. Another one would be risk of investment of time and resources, as Hot Wheels may want to develop and expand their product line. It may not have the budget for it and may need to tighten its funding in other areas the brand may want to touch on. So that's pretty much all I have for the SWOT analysis.
So, what value does Hot Wheels offer? Well, Hot Wheels actually has many values to offer, however, we're only going to talk about four. The first one is its low price point, which sits at around $1, which makes it really cheap, especially compared to a lot of its competitor brands. The only one that comes close is Matchbox. However, most other brands sit anywhere between $3 to upwards of $100, depending on what brand you're looking at. Its second value is its large variety of collectible offerings, and this is because it has a wide variety of models and it's constantly adding more to its collections, and it's also dropping limited editions, which adds to its collector appeal, but also its play appeal because children have so much variety to play with. Hot Wheels is also distinctive because it focuses on variety for play purposes rather than collectible purposes compared to its competitors. Hot Wheels' third value offered is its variety of play opportunities, and this is a key value driver, especially for their target market of kids ages 2 through 8. And this is because these cars are more exciting and active than static collectible cars. Hot Wheels are also supported by track systems, loops, ramps, and the opportunity to be creative with your setups, which gives it more of an excitement and play appeal. And it differentiates from other brands because of its ability to be raced and have those multiple offerings of tracks and stunts and loops. Its last value offered is its ease of holding and manipulating, and this is important because it encourages dexterity and motor skill building in younger kids, and it eases parents' concerns of toys being less beneficial to kids and more just about distractions. And it also adds a value that digital only play can't compete with. So now we're going to compare these brands on a positioning map. Our y-axis is going to be a price point, the top is going to be the high price point, and the bottom is the low. And then our x-axis will be compared on a play appeal to collector appeal. So of course we have Hot Wheels first. Hot Wheels sits in the bottom left quadrant, and this is because it has a very low price point, again, of just $1. They also have a very strong play appeal. While they do have some collector appeal, again, for their nostalgia offering and just their variety, they do lean a lot more towards play appeal because of its ability to be raced and be sold with tracks. The next brand is Matchbox. This is also a very low price point, hence it's sitting so close to the bottom. However, it does lean more to the collector appeal because it has more realistic features on these cars, and they're not as focused on stunts and tricks. The next brand is Disney Pixar's Cars, and this one has a higher price point. While it's still affordable, it is a little bit more pricey. And it does have a stronger play appeal to even younger kids, around 2 to 5, because it's tied into the Cars movie franchise. And it could have some collector appeal to adults who are fans of Cars, but it really does more just appeal to kids that are fans of the movies. Another brand that we have is Lego Vehicles. And with Lego Vehicles, they have a higher price point from anywhere to between $20 to $100 sets, which puts them way up in the top left quadrant. They also do have a very strong play appeal because they are meant to be built with, and you can be creative with how you build them. And they don't really have too much of a collector appeal, except for adults who, again, just like to collect Legos, but are definitely more heavily marketed towards children. Now we'll look at some brands that aren't listed in the case study. The first one we have is Majorette. This is a French brand, and they're actually known as like French Hot Wheels. They're more detailed cars than Hot Wheels, however, because they have opening doors, suspension, and the interior is pretty well laid out. So these have a price point of around $2 to $5, making them still cheap, but more expensive than Hot Wheels. And because they do have so much more realism, they do lean more on the collector appeal than the child appeal. The next brand is Greenlight Collectibles. These collectibles are highly detailed, and they're replicas of real cars, so they are definitely collector focused. The price point is also pretty high, between $6 and $20, so it is definitely more of a collector price range and less of a kid toy price range. And these cars are also not designed for rough play, they're more just designed to be replica models and collector cars. The last brand we have is Barago. These are realistic and larger scale model cars, so they appeal more to collectors and older kids. Their price is around $10 to $30, and while they are sturdy, making them somewhat playable, they are still more realistic and detail oriented and have a higher price point, making them more of a collector appeal.
As many different brands, Hot Wheels also have their own codes to distinguish them from the others and be nailed in customers' mind. First, their design and innovations. Since 1968, Hot Wheels has stood out because of its engineering. Each car is built with a special metal axles that reduces friction, making the cars faster and more dynamic than competitors. The speed-driven identity, the ideas of Hot Wheels cars as a mini space machine, has been a core differentiation for the brand. And the color. Another color that makes Hot Wheels distinct is the bright orange track system. These tracks, complete with loops, stones, and jumps, are instantly recognizable. More than just accessories, they are a signature play code that visually sets Hot Wheels apart from any other brand. The formula, speed, power, performance, emotional, make Hot Wheels different from the other. Historically, Hot Wheels focus on functional benefits like speed, power, and performance, but since 2014, the brand has repositioned itself to also emphasize emotional benefits like competitions, creativity, and experimentation. With the tagline "Challenge Accepted," Hot Wheels encourage kids to try to fail, repeat, and build resilience through play. Hot Wheels is one of the rare toy brands with nearly universal awareness and positive associations. It appeals to its core audience from boys from 3 to 8 years old, while also connecting with other collectors who feel nostalgia and passion for cars. This broad cultural appeal strengthens Hot Wheels' distinctiveness and longevity across generations. And finally, the $1 price point. Hot Wheels also built a powerful identity around its price. For nearly 50 years, a basic Hot Wheels car has sold for about $1. This makes it a favorite for retailers, a impulse item and full collectibility. Kids constantly adding more cars to their collection.
As a group, we have decided that for the long-term profitability of the company, it would be best to develop mixed play offerings. One of the strategies for trying to innovate for the company was to go fully digital in their approach. However, as stated in the case study, Mattel would have to outsource the development and hire a game developer, which would become more costly. Not only that, but they would have to compete with already well-established giants in the gaming industry such as Blizzard, Nintendo, and Sony. Lastly, the text also mentions how even successful games have a short lifespan, meaning that the development of their games would have been consistent and often. If Mattel sought to continue only developing physical toys, they would hit another wall again. They've already established that the main group of users is between ages 3 to 5, and those who are at risk were around 6 to 8 years old. The last group were those who already moved past the toys, which was 8 and above. Their demographic is incredibly small, so continuing to make physical toys for such a small demographic was sabotaging their profits by actively choosing to ignore these age groups who have been proven to show a lack of interest in these toys. Lastly, the category of mixed play is already an established industry that isn't heavily saturated, much like purely digital video games. One of the more popular toys to life games, such as Skylanders, and its sales have topped at about $3 billion in 2016, with 250 million toys sold. So they're living proof that the genre is successful. Mattel still wants to manufacture physical toys, but in order to be cutting edge and have a broader demographic, they need to meet their consumers where they're at. About 90% of kids now have access to a screen or tablet, and creating the game for them to play along with toys will ensure sales for the company. Initiatives to consider when developing mixed play, such as Disney Infinity, to offset the cost of the NFC technology needed to create the toys. The price point of Hot Wheels should match the price of Nintendo Amiibo characters. Having different price points will allow for people to be given a choice, as well as create another aspect, which was mentioned previously, which is a collector's aspect. The higher price point for the cars could be better performing ones or exclusive drops for people to use in game to collect. With the development of the game, they should also try and look into microtransactions. Yes, the parents have to pay for the cars, but maybe there could be a different in-game skins for the cars or upgrades that could be bought either through continuous playing or even buying through an online store with currency. This ensures profits as well as along with the physical purchasing of the cars. This also ensures that the game is free to download for the kids, which will include more users to play and download the game. While Hot Wheels is already a well-known name, to launch the campaign, they should partner with people familiar in the gaming space, such as YouTubers, streamers, to use their products. Screen time is a big component for kids, and many of them do watch these influencers, and due to their age, they will become more inclined to want to play these games if their favorite content creators plays them as well. And lastly, thank you for listening.